It's actually showing inside the mall.
Hi there, everyone. This is Undersheriff Mike Martin. I'm back and live for you today. It's been a busy morning with all kinds of different stuff, and the cat team's going to be out today. It's a beautiful day, really. It's like 83 degrees, it says on my dashboard, and we're out and about. We're on University by the state capitol, and ready to engage. There was just a robbery attempted robbery of a Brinks. Was the ATs filling the truck, like the same have exchanged rounds with the suspect, who then fled. And St. Paul's, a lot of their cars right now are tied up on that over at 399 Lexington Parkway. I know they have a perimeter set up, and I heard them call for a drone over there.
Can I get another?
The cat team is out and about, coming out to our primary focus today with them, and their primary focus is to search for a stolen Hyundai Tucson that had a child's wheelchair in it. Let's see here. So if you're out and about, look for this Hyundai Tucson. It's red. Hold on just a second. It's a little confusing. The plate on it may be John Roger William 363. Or it may be bearing, disregard. It's a red Hyundai Tucson, and it's got a wheelchair in there that's necessary for a disabled child. So we're trying to locate that vehicle. It was stolen in Minneapolis, but as we know, oftentimes these cases, the suspects will drive into the city of St. Paul or into Ramsey County. So we will put some effort into it and try to get this wheelchair back for this child who really needs it. We also have a stolen black Chevy Tahoe that we're looking for. Let's see if I can find the plate on that one. It's a 2007 Chevy Tahoe black, King Frank Lincoln 474. And it's supposed to frequent this area over in St. Paul. So we will look for that.
Edward H2 in Centerville with Foxtrot Zulu Tango 711.
So we're northbound on Rice Street at Lawson, looking for our stolen vehicles, looking for anything else that appears to be, and also available to assist St. Paul or Ramsey County with calls, because so so many St. Paul squads are tied up right now in that robbery, and there was an accident where a semi hit a street light and knocked it down close to our law enforcement center, so there's some squads tied up on that as well. We will assist if needed. I'm gonna go eastbound here on Maryland. I want to say
247.
it was nice to meet and talk to Larry Anderson today at Tom Reed's. We were in there eating lunch, and Larry stopped in and talked to the sheriff and Director Leiden, and it was nice talking to him. He asked me if I was going to be going live, and I said I would. I didn't tell him I was going to give him a shout out, but now he got it. They got the Maryland blocked off here, so I got to do a little jog through the parking lot of the Tin Cups.
Lindy, cosmetics. 60-year-old female, unconscious, not breathing. 2268. And 60 copy. 60 copy. 1457.
So we'll just go further north on Rice Street here and then cut over into the east side. This weekend was actually relatively quiet in Ramsey County, and I say that a little tongue-in-cheek, and you know, it's always busy, but there weren't a lot of big calls and big issues going on. I know our water patrol was tied up for quite some time yesterday on a call of a male that was threatening to jump from a bridge over the Mississippi River. Fortunately, they were eventually able to convince the male to come back over to safety, and I'm assuming they brought him to the hospital. It was actually the Marshall Bridge goes from the city of St. Paul over to Minneapolis, so it was Minneapolis police and fire that initially responded, but had he jumped, he would have ended up on the downward side of the Mississippi River in Ramsey County, and so our folks were there to assist if needed.
For inquiry report.
Just a reminder to people, please be kind on the comments. I didn't see the comments, but it looks like maybe someone wasn't kind on here, so we want our backseaters to get along with each other and be respectful of the work we do. We venture out to arrest bad guys and gals and hold them accountable, but they're people too, and we try to recognize that. A lot of them are struggling with mental illness and addiction and other issues, and so our job's to maintain safety and order. It's not to judge people. So
180.
180.
we crossed over on Arlington onto the east side of St. Paul. For those of you who aren't familiar with what we do here, about 3 years ago, Sheriff Fletcher decided he wanted to start live streaming his patrols on Friday nights, so that people could see kind of the inside of what we do, how we respond to calls, and how we make decisions and all that kind of stuff. He was joined shortly thereafter by Deputy Pat Scott, who's his old partner from the city of St. Paul. They both had long careers there, and then several others of us started working with them on Friday nights. Then we branched out to doing Mondays with Mike, which is me. I'm an Undersheriff with the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office.
106 takes a package that belongs to cop with a $100 bottle of cologne
here in the city of St. Paul in Minnesota. And then on Wednesdays, our CAT team goes out. They're out every day, but on Wednesdays they live stream their work as they're out looking for carjacking and auto thieves, and thus the acronym CAT team. So and then on Friday nights we still go out regularly. It's kind of a hodgepodge of who's working, and some of you know Nicole Sparks from being on. Nicole's off and out. Sergeant Mark Suki, also known as Stick Suki, and just kind of depends on who's in town and who's working on those nights.
Sierra 1423.
So if you haven't shared this yet on Facebook or subscribed on YouTube, please do that. Share it with your friends. And don't sweat the haters on here. There's I see some of the hateful comments, but those people, I'm living rent-free in their head right now. So if they want to spend their day focused on me and us, then God bless them. They obviously don't have anything else going on. So, but for those of you that are here because you want to know a little bit more about what we do, thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
All right, did he actually commit any crimes or just be disorderly? Because he's wheeling away now.
I'll pull over here a second just to look at something our intel unit just put out. So now we have some surveillance footage of the
41,
suspect from the robbery of the Brinks
44.
Folks. Sounds like maybe they were filling the ATM at the Speedway.
2920 White Bear Avenue, Walgreens for assault. Customer was in checkout line when she was escaped by another customer within the last 5 minutes. Suspect's no longer seen. Victim's a customer at the Florida Department. It's an employee. Suspect, white male, older, 6-foot beard. Left in a vehicle, no description.
There's two people here pulling out roots from a tree that fell. It looks like we had some big storms last week, and a lot of people lost trees. I know I have a huge tree down in my backyard, and found out that if your tree falls from your neighbor's house into your yard and damages your stuff, that you have to make a claim with your own insurance for that. It just happened to fall on a trailer that I had in the backyard, and I can't even get to the trailer to look at it yet, but I'm guessing it's crushed. It's a pontoon trailer, so
2414. Copy out 721446.
we're on the east side over here on Maryland at Edgerton going eastbound. We will just
84.
keep plugging along here.
Good one. Phone call reference GDP.
I know people are probably curious about the officer-involved shooting with the state troopers this morning. I know nothing about that, so I'm not going to talk about it because I don't know anything other than what I've read in the media about it. So I'm sure the facts will continue to come out.
Clear assisted.
We're southbound, by the way, on Greenbrier at Jessamine. Checking a little area over here where we've had individuals dumping stolen cars recently. See if I can find one over here.
Traffic waiting for deputies. Do you need me to send some, or they can? Copy that. 2414, your last was inaudible. So I'm just pulling up on scene, I'll advise. Thank you.
41 an hour?
41.
I'll be right in clear.
Looking for a minute.
You can hear two males in the background talking. One male.
So we're scanning all three St. Paul channels.
Another male.
West, Central, and East. We're scanning the all three Ramsey County's main channels. West, Central, and East as well. And we're also scanning a couple statewide channels, some metro-wide channels, and a few other bonus
9681.
channels that stuff could come up on. So if there are major incidents, I will shut up and let you listen to them.
June 14.
Generally apparently I kind of try to talk over.
No. 150.
If I want.
There might have been a yesterday to that unit, and we're looking into that. The fire transporter now.
So we're north on Payne Avenue. We're almost to Case here, and we'll continue up and kind of see what we got. Some people were watching on Friday night when I was trying to catch up to a Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT, and went behind a building, and I know sounds like the camera lost connection after I stopped the young man driving. We ended up IDing him, talking to him about his driving, and releasing him. Confident that we knew who we were dealing with. So something I want to mention that just popped in my head is we've had people calling individuals in Ramsey County and impersonating sheriff's deputy personnel and telling them that they owed a fine because they missed jury duty, and if they just came up with whatever the fine is, $5,000 or whatever, they could clear up their warrant. We don't ever do that. We don't ever ask for money like that. We would never call on the phone. We would come and nicely visit your house if you did something bad. I can't remember anyone ever getting a warrant for missing jury duty, but you may have to go to jury duty again. But please, if that happens to you, please call and report it. It's something that happens in jurisdictions across the state.
The cab driver ended up calling and stated that he refused to bring the console.
343 coming.
I've also heard lately that there was a gentleman who was walking around in neighborhoods and trying to solicit money, saying that he was going to go to veterinary school and that he needed money, and then when people would say no, he was getting very aggressive and threatening with them. Again, please call 911 if that happens. We want to know who that person is and likely arrest or cite them for threats or disorderly conduct or whatever is appropriate at the time. So no one should ever be aggressively soliciting money from you. Oh, except the IRS, though. I'm guessing they get aggressive sometimes, but apparently they can legally do that. So I don't want to be excluding everybody, but don't let anybody threaten you and try to get money from you. I'm southbound now on Earl. I want to drive down here. I heard there's a new bar down this way that's had some issues. I know there was a homicide last week. I believe Thursday or Friday at 3rd and Earl. Sounds like it was a domestic ex-boyfriend beat beating up the ex-girlfriend, and then the new boyfriend shot him or something to that effect. But there's also supposedly a bar down here now that's being frequented by some problematic individuals, so we'll check that out while we're out here looking for this again. Hyundai Tucson that was stolen from Minneapolis with the child's wheelchair in it.
Both parties are now GOA.
Let's see here. Get you the plate again on that. John Roger William 363. John Roger William 363. If you see that red Hyundai Tucson, call 911 and report it wherever you are so the police can recover it and hopefully recover that valuable wheelchair. We're going south on Earl now. Just me and we're gonna head down here across Minnehaha down to 3rd.
It appears that we went out to apartment 115, not 114.
Doesn't look very busy at the Dairy Queen. Doesn't even look like it's open. I hope it's open.
Franklin Highway 36 for an H commission.
So we're still south on Earl here, coming up to Old Hudson.
60 miles per hour.
Cross over 94.
Take that. You create me up show me over to HQ front desk and 440.
So if you watched the Live on Patrol on Friday night, we had a lengthy chase that went on for, I just said lengthy, so I'm going to be redundant here. Went on for quite a while. Ended up in the Lino Lakes, Circle Pines area, I believe, when Darren McDonald pitted the suspect vehicle after stop sticks were deployed successfully, so successfully that 2 of the squads hit him as well. And but we'd much rather have the suspect vehicle incapacitated and where it's not gonna hurt anybody than to have them driving crazy.
With black trim on the bottom. Unknown license plate was going at least 50 to 60 miles. On Viking Drive. Blue stop sign on right. Stop sign on right.
15-hour welfare check. 2 calls, one from a friend that said Katie Hatley, 34-year-old black female, is having an argument with her boyfriend. It's just going to get worse. Then we got a call from Sadie that says boyfriend put hands on her.
We're on Burns Avenue. We're going by Obbs Bar, popular Lower East Side bar.
At 1501.
Can you check if his Spanish speaking officer works?
Checking down Super Spanish speaker.
All on 2?
New message. New message.
People, don't be this lady right here who's blocking the intersection. If you can't safely make it through, don't enter the intersection, please. It just creates issues, causes accidents, and obstructs traffic.
Let's be going to through.
All 7 copies. Is he threatening or causing harm to anyone with the accident? It's just in possession of one.
This is very clever.
One for her. I'm 10-8, and I'll be at that Marshall call in a couple blocks here.
So we're still driving eastbound on Burns. We're going to come out over here by, excuse me, White Bear Avenue and the Battle Creek area.
27 receipt and 717. I know I'm at Marshall.
1790.
If you Friday night, you heard Bob and Pat talk about a stolen car that was involved in a series of incidents over in the Battle Creek area. Threw a can at a lady and hit her, then went over to the Battle Creek Water Park and assaulted a security guard there, and then fled, and they bailed out of the car, and Pat Scott saw them, and we were able to apprehend them. The driver was booked for the stolen car, and the passengers were identified, but come to find out that one of the passengers now is wanted for PC riot in the city of Minneapolis. I don't know the details of that case where that he's wanted for, but he generally, if they charge PC right, it's a big fight or shots fired.
Adult male to LEC from Regents Hospital, starting mileage 555.
So
LEC, copy that. 1505.
if we see him, we will be taking him into custody.
Okay.
There was a big event this weekend on Saturday. It was Suni Lee Day in the city of St. Paul. The mayor declared it, and they unveiled the statue for gold medal winning gymnast Sunisa Lee, who's a native of the city of St. Paul. They unveiled a statue of her and read a proclamation declaring it Suni Lee Day. Just a great young lady. Had the pleasure of meeting her a couple times and pleasure of escorting her when she arrived home with her gold medals from the Olympics at the airport. She had a lot of fans that were there to meet her.
Sometimes they got 1505 West Minister Street. Go between the caller's brother and the mother.
See what we got going for calls over here. To St. Paul. Let's call.
345, you can take there.
Thank you.
Good deal.
Saying that someone was holding an axe. And they weren't threatening with it, but they were holding it walking down the street. I don't know. That sounds like a horror movie. I have not seen the new Disney Haunted House movie, but I want to see it. It's one of my favorite rides at Disneyland and Disney World, and it's just a classic. It looks like it's kind of true to the format of the haunted house. So I'm trying to think what was and I haven't seen the movie because my daughter's now 17 and she went and saw it with her friends.
Ending mileage 556.
1509.
That's one of the benefits of having your kids get older is you don't have to go to all the Disney movies and the little kids movies. We're northbound on White Bear, by the way. Northbound at Rainy.
35.
We're gonna head back up a little further north here on the east side. See what's going on, then maybe head over west. relatively quiet right now on the radio.
2473 EOT. 2473.
I know our CAT team is out and about. Our apprehension team's out looking for the most violent and problematic individuals in the county. They've done some tremendous work lately, scooping up murders and rapists and shooters, you name it. Drug dealers, the ones that have warrants, that are wanted, that violate their parole. We got a really good team over there. Commander Clark and Sergeant Maher and the boys and girls. So we're gonna go westbound here on Maryland.
We'll go with the third.
Again, please share this if you don't mind with your friends. Share it on Facebook. I don't know how you share it on YouTube, but definitely subscribe. I think we have 104,000 followers on Facebook and 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's pretty big following, and we certainly appreciate it, but the more the merrier. The best part is a lot of people say, well, thank you for going live, I really enjoy watching you and whatnot, but what you don't realize is how much it means to us to be able to meet all of you and talk to people from around the country and get to know you. Obviously, we realize we all face the same, no matter where you are. And the backseaters love to support each other through thoughts and prayers and advice and all kinds of stuff. So it makes it a fun group to be part of. So somebody asked me over the weekend, does Pat get like extra credit for throwing sticks and spiking 3 cars instead of just one? And the answer is no. We deduct his credits for if it's a squad car that drives over and flattens their tires. So he's actually losing 2 credits. He gains 1 and loses 2. So Pat, I know you're watching. Love you, brother, but you know,
523.
the rules are the rules.
We put me on a DOC. He's a 15-seater.
Okay, go for it.
535, send me that as well.
596.
2-8 278, the vehicle back. Yeah, I think they're on you.
Could be at the Emerald Manor Apartments, number 280 7th Street Northwest. I don't know which unit is going to be. That's the 911 hang-up. Text to 911. He texted saying to hope him that he's bleeding, and then he texted. We're trying to text him to call back.
Every time I see one of those VW bugs, it reminds me of being a kid and getting slugged by my older brother. Whenever we would see a VW bug, it was slug bug, and he'd slug him in the arm. But he usually saw him before I did. If you're watching, Jim, I still owe you, or Jimmy. We called him Jimmy, then he became Jim, and now that he's a big shot, he's called James. If you're watching from California, I owe you a few slugs in the arm.
Got the vehicle, Juliet Charlie Golf 095.
Okay, Juliet Charlie Golf 095.
Someone asked, does he live in San Diego? No, he does not, even though we grew up there. He lives in Huntington Beach, closer up by LA.
Three 358.
358. 336.
The juvenile incident at 1515 Magnolia Avenue East, Apartment 5. 65. 65. Medical policy 244 Meadowbrook Court.
I'm gonna hop on the highway here to get a little west so I avoid the detour on Maryland. It's kind of a cool old Caprice in front of us. For a while I had a unmarked cop car that looked like that. It was fast too.
There's a group playing dice out here. There's about 12 people with them.
Copy.
I remember driving it once to a gang conference in Milwaukee and having to watch the speed because the Wisconsin troopers were very vigilant about making sure the speed limit was adhered to on I-94. I like that car, but I like my old Ford Crown Victorias better. Maybe because I was used to it, but I don't know about these new cars, these new, all these new squads. I don't know what the fast ones are now. It used to be the Caprices topped out a little higher than the Crown Vics. The Crown Vics probably got there a little faster. They were definitely fun to drive. When I first started, there actually were still a few Plymouth Furies in service in the Minneapolis Police Department. And then the old boxy Crown Vics. So we're driving, we drove south there on 35E for a minute and right by downtown. Now we're going to cut over and go west and cruise around on the end of St. Paul, central and west area. Looks like there's a little accident or a breakdown here on West I-94. Just past downtown. It's always nice when the Department of Transportation trucks come help kind of divert traffic. Makes it a lot safer for everyone. Yes, I did see those motorcycles. I'm going to see if I can get around, and I couldn't slow down and get over in time, but I might be able to get over there and see if they need assistance.
5909.
Not the best place to be broken down.
The line is experienced at 2100 Snelling Avenue for suspicious. The person came in, took a bunch of alcohol, and brought into the bathroom. Has been there for a couple minutes and has not yet come out. Could be possibly a female, mixed race, heavy build, wearing a hoodie and shades.
Somebody's asking about motorcycles on patrol. I don't know that there are many agencies in Minnesota anymore that have. Some have motorcycles. They'll use them for parades and whatnot. But the problem is that here, first of all, with the winter and the cold conditions, it's not ideal. And then there's a lot of debris because of the salt and sand that's used on the roads that make the motorcycles slide out if it's not cleaned off the roads before people start riding. And we also have a lot of deer. So I can tell you that the motorcycles aren't always a very good option here in Minnesota for patrol.
Twenty 16, 22 16.
Good.
997 Abergale Street, Shoreview, 91 hang up, open line, 5 meters.
In front of us is the Peace Officers Memorial for officers that have
Copy 2260.
died in the line of duty in the state of Minnesota. It's a beautiful memorial. If you ever get here, it's on the grounds of the Minnesota State Capitol. And it's really cool to watch. Especially if you come at night, you will see that it's lit up really in a really cool way. I'm just swinging around here to see. I'm not really in the best position to get down to where those motorcycles were, but it looked like one of the guys was trying to get up to the highway, so I'll see if I can't intercept them and give them a hand.
Actually, 144, 179. That area.
52.
So it looks like both guys are back on their motorcycles. I'm looking back over my shoulder, and they may be good to go. But they don't look like they need assistance any longer, which is good because I could get them gas or get them
2273.
to somewhere where they could get help, but I certainly don't know enough to fix a motorcycle.
Summer Street, Falcon Heights, Campbell Place.
No recap.
1529.
So we're on Marion Street. We're gonna come up here. I think I'll cross University and we'll go up into the Frogtown neighborhood. It's an area where we've recovered a lot of stolen vehicles over time. That does seem to have waned a little, though. Pull over here for just a second and look at my Intel text string and see if there's anything new to report to you. Sad. There's just some photos of the child in the wheelchair that's missing. Hopefully we can find that wheelchair.
40 for 21, hopefully.
Again, we're looking for a red Hyundai Tucson, John Roger William 363.
I'll be back.
The danger condition at Johnson and Minnehaha for a vehicle driving erratically all over the road with the left blinker flashing. It's a silver Ford van. Plate is Echo Romeo Victor 207. Last seen headed westbound on 3rd Street.
Well, that dangerous condition, that vehicle that's driving recklessly, is pretty far away from us now, but we'll keep an eye out for it.
2266, go ahead.
I'll go at 5514 Lake Avenue with Mike David Henry 016.
I'm on Thomas, just east or just west of
Which lake may clear your other call?
Marion here. I'm going to drive by the Frogtown Community Center. And
I'm sorry, no, moving on.
we'll see what's going on. There's a few kids out there. Not too busy, which is kind of surprising for a summer weekday. But who knows? Maybe kids are at camp or playing elsewhere. Cast on his hand. It made my hand hurt just thinking about having a broken hand or broken arm. Been there a few times and it's not very fun.
That's the be right at March with a 2100 Snelling for accident and arrest. Nature Cup, the east side of the lot. It's closed yet there.
Let's go at a run driving through Frogtown.
Start another car on my location.
It's looking relatively
Top 60 back on 66.
quiet.
We can lock me in a cab.
Okay, there you go.
The sheriff's office does not currently have any motorcycles. We do have four-wheelers that we use for patrolling events and for parks and trails. We have boats, we have an airboat, we have golf carts, cars, trucks. We have a little bit of everything, but we do not have any motorcycles that I'm aware of.
344, I can advise.
Copy. 50.
I don't know if St. Paul still has motorcycles that they use for parades. I know they used to, and they used to patrol on them. Minneapolis used to. I don't know if they have them anymore. Minneapolis Park Police, I think, might have a couple. State Patrol might have a couple. But they're just not as commonplace as they were in the late 90s. There was a lot of money for given to police agencies for equipment, and motorcycles were one of those things that became very popular at that time. Yes, we do have snowmobiles too. I can't believe I left those out. We have jet skis. That's the job I should go live on patrol on a jet ski. Alright, remind me of that. I don't know how I'll do it, but I think that'd be fun. Or live on one of the boats on the Mississippi would be a lot of fun too. It's a big river, a lot of activity. A lot of times boats break down and they need to be rescued, or people fall in or jump into the river. We're westbound on University.
Will be pending call for 1242 City Center shortly.
That was the 41st.
If you're a parent and you know what it's like, where all of a sudden you realize
That 44th.
it's super quiet and your kids are in the other room and you wonder what they're up to, that's kind of the feeling I have right now, because I'm not hearing the cat team talking on their channel, so I'm starting to get suspicious that they're up to something. So if you guys are watching, just let me know that you're not, up to something that I'm missing out on.
235, I can start for that room.
Ready for service?
4420, your number 020245. 020245.
Copy, thank you.
You're welcome.
Copy, we have the time.
Do you think if we went on the water patrol boat, they would let me fish? I could fish off the boat? I don't know.
Thank you. I'll be out at 2130, Commonwealth permit 304.
Yeah, we could do like a fishing show. Live on patrol, fishing with Bob and Pat.
I do call the pound tavern and let me in. Thank you. Help direct traffic.
Copy.
The problem is if we did Mondays with Mike on the Mississippi, I'd have to fish for muskie so that we could keep the alliteration going. And if anyone's ever fished for muskies, you know how many times you have to cast to get a muskie. So we're south on Lexington now.
4441, 4460.
P78 copy, so coming back up.
Keep looking to see if there's any good calls, pending calls.
A welfare check, and it's far to 41.
I don't know if the
Caller was on the phone with her sister. 4337, the copy.
I don't know.
2248 in Court North for a welfare check. Our sister is requesting for us to call and check up on a cop named Joe Keller, who has called in multiple times. He's very upset and has been crying. He stated that he's sitting in his truck in the driveway with a gun in the garage. We're like, for officers to check up.
a second.
And 4337, do you copy as well?
I apologize, but I'm gonna mute you for just a minute here. Sorry about that. I'm back now, and just had to call the sheriff about something quick, and we're back on patrol.
1547.
We're right by Central High School, going westbound on Marshall. It's a busy area. You got Central High School, you got the park here, you have Concordia University St. Paul here on the right hand side coming up. Great school. My son just graduated from there. Played football there for a little while. We're going to go north on Hamlin. If you're in Minnesota and your kid wants to go to a good school close to home, this is a great school. Division II athletics. So we're north on Hamlin from Concordia. Then we're going to cross St. Anthony and right by the Target here in St. Paul. In the William K. Finney Western District of the St. Paul Police Department's here on our left. Named after former Chief Bill Finney, who now works with us at the Sheriff's Office as an Undersheriff. Tremendous guy, tremendous legacy. Fun to work with. Like a walk-in encyclopedia of St. Paul history.
42 in the area. Copy 5281, APDA Cleveland, Twins Lake, and 4442 showing in the area 1550.
like this.
50 to go.
We're now west on
Thank you.
University from Hamlin.
Service
187, I can let you know on that.
On our left is Allianz Field, home of the Minnesota United Football Club, the Loons. I don't know. I don't really follow them. I'm not a soccer fan, but I've been to a few games, and man, is it a crazy environment. If you haven't ever been to one, I highly recommend it just for the entertainment value. Snelling. I know we've mentioned it a lot of times, but a lot of great colleges and universities here in the Twin Cities and city of St. Paul. You have Concordia, Hamlin, McAllister, St. Thomas, St. Kate's, St. Paul College. The University of Minnesota has a St. Paul campus just really across across the border from the Minneapolis campus. St. Paul campus of the University of Minnesota is more the agriculture, biological sciences, veterinary. They have a veterinary hospital, the Raptor Center. It's very interesting place.
$44.50 to take off.
I don't think I've ever seen a Range Rover that small before.
It's gonna be at the BD. That's what this is under
It's like a
the
Range
drop-off
Rover
environment.
toy.
Wearing a big top.
Hopefully that guy's not watching me going, hey, it's not a toy. It's a big truck.
Airport, 61 Tango
50. Mid plus 5, go ahead.
So we're right by the campus of Hamlin University,
I called her. We don't have the
alma mater of Sheriff Fletcher. He played football here. I'm pretty sure it was back when they had leather straps for helmets. But don't tell him I said that. That's our little secret. I know he's very proud of his time here at Hamlin, and he enjoyed it and learned a lot, and really set him on the right path for his future.
Blake Golf X-ray uniform 069 Nicole.
You do the
Golf X-ray uniform 069.
So we're going northbound on Snelling. We're going to cross the the railroad tracks at the railroad yard here in Energy Park Drive, and we're gonna go past the state fairgrounds on our left. And the state fair's coming up soon, August 24th to September 4th, I believe. I'm guessing a little bit on that.
And 9375.
I'm convinced it's the best state fair in the country. I'm sure there are other people that would argue that, but I can't imagine having a better state fair. And I've been to a few. I went to the Kentucky State Fair. I can tell you that didn't even come close to what we have going on here.
Passing people on the other side of the road now with it. Being really ill.
Copy.
Last takeaway westbound County Road Beach.
I did go to the Del Mar Fair, the Southern California Exposition, as it's known. Somebody posted that. I don't know how you know that I went there, but it was
The neighbor is selling narcotics and is arguing
not great.
with the caller.
I mean, it's okay, but it's not
and is threatened to cut
the Minnesota State Fair.
Take a welfare check on the juvenile. Copy 1558. Your first call to start 47271 and 9273.
44.
Cat team's got a car stopped over on the east side, but it sounds like it was driving erratically, but they stopped it, and it's now
4680 Outer Lake Road. We're suspicious. Bill
just called that
climbed
code
the
4.
tree, jumped off of it to the roof of Comp's shed to try and dig into Comp's fenced backyard. White male, curly brown hair. Proceed, 73 square. At 1559. At 5288, copy you to the APD in front of the lawns of Ireland at 1601 County Road C. Charlie at 1500. At 1600 now. For a trespass male, violating, wanting him removed. It's an Asian male, 20s to 30s, thin build, wearing a light yellow outfit.
375.
Minnesota does not have a motorcycle helmet law. You do not have to wear a helmet on a motorcycle in the state of Minnesota. You do have to wear protective eyewear. But
You can wear the system with
I
280.
think that way, if you wear sunglasses, then your body looks cool when you die. I would highly recommend wearing a helmet. I've been to a lot of motorcycle accidents, and I remember talking to a state trooper once, and the trooper showed up, and I said, it was a motorcycle accident. He was ejected, and the trooper looked at me and said, yeah, every motorcycle accident's an ejection. And made a lot of sense. And when you come down, a lot of times you're going to come down on your head, and that doesn't bode very well. So,
Hi, for you.
please wear a helmet. I'm not a motorcycle guy, but I know a lot of people that have been in motorcycle accidents. They are horrific, so...
Sorry, last parcel again.
Ooh, the Egg Roll Queen food trucks on the corner of
Last squad,
Larpenter and Lexington. That's big intel right there. If you're in the area, go to Larpenter and Lexington. The Egg Roll Queen food trucks on the corner right there by the Flowerama. I highly recommend it. And I have no ties to it except that it's good food. Good food. Egg Roll Queen.
This is it. With Central in downtown B.
267, can you add a semi-trailer, Minnesota license, 2385 Sierra Tango Tango?
Copy, that's 2385 Sierra Tango Tango.
Affirmative.
We're eastbound on Larpenter. I'm just headed back to kind of the Rice Street area, lest we get a call.
$25.76.
2576.
Good afternoon. Put me on the board. 22379. Transporting 2 from the main to the LEC. Starting mileage 21.
Received. Lovely.
Could be reporting. I can get on those time.
Alright,
Copy that at 1604.
Bravo 650 on the engine.
Still eastbound. Just passing the Community School of Excellence. One of these days I just want to drive by a school and have it say, the School of Mediocrity. We're not the best, but we do okay. But it seems like every school is excellent, or a fine arts school, or some kind of mathematics or STEM charter school. I've met a lot of people that are mediocre. I don't know what school they went to.
I can start to the alarm out in a few blocks.
eastbound Larpenter at 35E right
What
now.
for you? Lady. Liz, by the back. 7th and Douglas. This is medic. The man down on the corner.
218.
There's by the back.
We're gonna go north on 35E
Take it to 49.
up towards the suburban areas or contract cities. See what's kicking up there.
Report.
Just made it.
42.
I don't know if anyone else has noticed just that people drive crazy now. They really do. I don't know if it was the pandemic and that there was less traffic and less enforcement, if it's the reduction in the cops, but people drive nuts. And if you get into some spots like Minneapolis, in some areas, they don't even obey the red lights, or they just go flying through the light. You gotta look both ways and back again just to make sure you're not gonna get run into. And on the highway, people are driving fast, so it just seems like things have gone downhill a little bit safety-wise.
4504 right, any mileage 101.
One.
So we're on 35E. I always get 35E and 35W mixed up at the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul here. 35W or west goes up through Minneapolis, and 35E or east goes up through St. Paul. We're going to get off on Little Canada Road here and drive over by our
2576.
water patrol station.
2573.
This is 2576, arriving at the LEC, ending miles 23, and if you can take me off the board, I'll be DOT. Have a good night.
I think, yeah, they're gonna get some.
Trying to run the plate on this older CRV. Came
New message.
up the ramp extremely quickly.
New message.
And now the speed limit here is 30. I'm going 46 right now. I'm slowing down. He's going about 40. So quick pull him over here and see what's up. Last time I was in this little parking lot was on an overdose.
New message.
Alrighty, we're just gonna run his license quick. I'm gonna back up here for a second. I don't like, the car doesn't register to him, so I have to run his license.
New message. New message. New message.
Oh. Alright, he's all valid, so I'm just gonna go tell him to slow down and we'll move on.
Six for 23.
Copy. 272.
Suburban traffic, southbound 61, Minnesota, George, Sam Lincoln, 819, all over the road, slow still.
$92.75 Buick Cedar.
I'll be with him shortly.
Copy that.
Where's south of Cedar? Looks like they might be sent here.
Cooper's up.
304 with 203, 204, 205, and 2750.
Copy.
$93, 75, control.
$93.75 controlled.
Alright, sorry I left you hanging there. I had a squad showed up to back me up, and which is off camera, and I was just talking to him for a minute, and
44, 44,
Get out of there.
44 PT. Cancel.
If you ever get a chance to eat up here at the Porterhouse on the corner of Little Canada Road and it'd be Country Drive, I believe. It's a frontage road here on 35W. Tremendous food there at the Porterhouse. It's a good place. Good place to go. Yes, I was right. It's Country Drive.
4452 Tango. 40.
People ask me about, like when I mention places, do we get, are we advertising for them? Nope. I'm just telling you, if I eat somewhere and it's good, or I go somewhere and get good service, you're going to hear about it, because I think those people deserve it. So if I mention a place, trust me, there's no kickback.
In the driveway, 20 feet up the driveway. Blackmail,
But,
510. Never say a copy to that phone call request for that.
I know we've talked about eating at Mavericks a lot. We love Mavericks, and they just have tremendous food. And Tom Reed's, the atmosphere there, the people there are tremendous. Food's great. Those are places we just love to go.
1619.
If I could get a kickback of food, it'd be at Taco Bell, probably. So.
GOA. We'll go to that deal. Yeah. Concordia there, we ready.
Country Drive. 2485 Sepulveda Boulevard. Accident occurred in the lot. 35 service. 1621.
So it looks quiet at our water patrol station right now. I'm not seeing much action. Some reserve cars. We're putting in some fencing here just to secure the facility.
Yes, sir.
1620.
So we also have our impound lot up here. But my guess is they're all out patrolling lakes. Generally, they go out on the Mississippi River and White Bear Lake, and trying to think of, those are couple of the most popular ones that they proactively patrol along, like in New Brighton sometimes. But they get a lot of calls for boats that have broken down and need to be towed to shore, for boats that have capsized or have blown away from docks in bad storms, you name it. Anything that occurs in the water emergencies are the purview or the responsibility of the sheriff's office. In Minnesota, the county sheriff's office is in charge of water patrol. So, and I know our water patrol folks love that job.
123.
Gives them a chance to be out and about. Teacher once who said to me, you know, no one's going to pay you someday to sit and stare out a window. And he was wrong, because that's what I'm doing right now. Driving around staring out the window. So, sorry, Mr. Lewis, but we're northbound on Rice up here. We're going through Little Canada, but we're about to enter into Shoreview. We're going to cross over I-694, which is a
Your case number is 137637.
loop that goes 694 and 494 are a loop that go around the Twin Cities area. I don't know what you'd call it, but a big circle. And as we come through here, we go through a series of these roundabouts. I would complain about the roundabouts, but they do make chases a little more interesting. When the bad guys have to slow down to get around the roundabouts. We're gonna go north here on Hodgson Road. So Rice Street's pretty much done now, and then we're on Hodgson Road going northbound. We have Vadnais Lake on the right. Some of you may remember Vadnais Lake was the location where the mom drowned her 3 kids and herself. Boy, that was about a year and a half ago now, I think. Very, very sad time.
Message.
And for our folks. It took roughly a day and a half to recover the bodies of the 3 children and the mother, and return them to their families so they could have a proper burial. The father had committed suicide the day before.
He industrially called prices, and the ECC starting to burn down the school home. Information 16 Twins.
So we're north on Hodgson through Shoreview. Shoreview is one of our contract cities, so we are the primary law enforcement agency here. Getting some
Try to put the cop word out on Joe Keller, give me a call. And our deputy is with them. My number is 651-2 482400.
3444 copy.
So the sheriff and a couple of our deputies are working with a gentleman that we work with a lot who struggles, and it's always nice when you have a relationship that can help out another agency. So they're helping out the Maplewood PD, which is good.
I'm clear advised.
We're driving by Sitzer Park, place where my kids, especially my son Tyler, played a lot of baseball. Spent a lot of time at Sitzer Park here. And we're gonna go north here, up.
690.
690.
Can you please log off 680?
To Highway 96. We'll go westbound then on 96.
Forty-four, myself, 41 arriving. Alright. 50-90, clear, shifted.
610.
So we have 7 contract cities, and every time I say that, I know that if I start to list them off, I'm gonna miss one, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So we have Arden Hills, where we have a patrol station. We have Shoreview. We have Vadnais Heights, North Oaks, White Bear Township, Little Canada that we just drove through, and Falcon Heights. I think I got all 7. And we are the primary police for those areas. So if someone calls 911, we're the ones who respond. And then for the rest of the county, they have their own police departments like Roseville, Maplewood, White Bear Lake, St. Paul, of course, and we assist them. New Brighton has their own police department, and we assist them whenever we can because generally we have more staffing available, especially when it comes to the carjacking and auto theft stuff. But investigations, missing persons, you name it, we will assist whatever we can. So we're westbound on Highway 96 in the city of Shoreview, and coming up on the Shoreview Community Center. If you ever get a chance to come up here with your younger kids, there's a tremendous pool and a playground. It's really a fun place. I don't know if you have to get... I don't think so. I mean, it's open to people from the community, but I don't know if... for the outside stuff, I'm assuming you probably need a reservation for the... picnic areas outside, but it's a busy place.
Two one.
On the right is the Shoreview Ice Arena, one of the coldest places on Earth. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere between Antarctica and the North Pole is the Shoreview Ice Arena. Spent many hours sitting in there watching youth hockey, and it's a fun place. I have a nephew that's playing hockey for the Mounds View Irondale system right now, and he plays there. Just driving through here by Shore 96, one of my favorite little local places to eat. And I don't drink anymore, but a lot of people do hang out here and have a beer and relax. But if you come here, highly recommend the smashed meatball sandwich.
4444 over.
52, you want to just give I-2 history of this confidence girlfriend, history of the conflict. It's going to be for Anthony Zelensky and his girlfriend, Isabel Kiana.
52.
54. Two 06.
06.
Trying to back up 06. 2266 Oakwood Drive at Mounds View for domestic. Next worker wanted to pick up the belonging and is trying to take in the bedroom door.
Okay.
So we are south on Lexington here, but we're going to go west on Highway 96 into the lovely suburb of Arden Hills. And part of the reason it's lovely is because we have a patrol station out here in Arden Hills. It's where patrol deputies work out of that answer 911 calls. We have our K9s out here, some of our drone programs out here. We use those drones for missing persons and rescues and suspects that are hiding. Going by Arden Hills City Hall. It's also the home of the headquarters of Boston Scientific. Tomorrow night is National Night Out, by the way. Or Night to Unite, I call it National Night Out. I think there's was some kind of a rift, like a civil war within the community crime prevention sector, and now there's some National Night Out and some are Night to Unite. Basically, either way, it's a chance for neighbors and others to get together and meet each other and meet the officers and the deputies that work their community. And we will be participating. I don't know how many of our deputies are going to be out, but I think last year we had about 100 of our employees that were out attending parties and meeting neighbors and eating a lot of food. So when I was at the Minneapolis Police Department, this is important stuff here. When they registered to have an official National Night Out party, they would have to register what kind of food they were having at the party. And then it would go into a spreadsheet, and we would get the spreadsheet so you could pick which ones you wanted to eat at. And because some were like, they'd have Domino's pizza, some it was like a neighborhood potluck. There were times when a restaurant would have like barbecue. So it was important to plan your route of where you were going to visit based on what food they were having. I don't know if they still do that, but if they do, it's a good idea. And these are squads that have been brought out here just, I'm guessing, to be ready for tomorrow night for using. And some are patrol cars that are moved out of the alley because of some construction going on here.
Okay, sir. I'll be clear my state action report here for that previous accident, property damage. Which 141 will be available?
So we're going to go westbound on 96 again in Arden Hills here. Behind our patrol station is a National Guard Reserve Readiness Center, and I may not be using the right terminology. Our Public Works are out here too. The Mounds View Public Schools, some of their maintenance vehicles are out here. But this is basically a campus for the National Guard's Readiness Center and training. They do a lot of work out here and are tremendously helpful for us when we have natural disasters or civil unrest that we need assistance with. As we go west here, we will be heading towards 35W, the other 35, and we will, when we cross the bridge, we will be in the city of New Brighton if we take a left, and in the city of Mounds View if we take a right. And I'm going to take a left. Just because getting close to witching time, where I have another commitment I have to be at, but we are crossing over 35W right now and passing By Swingers Hardware here in New Brighton. Love going there. You usually have whatever I'm looking for. And we're going to go south on Old Highway 8 past Long Lake. On the right is Long Lake Beach. It's a county park. There's a beach, there's picnic areas, stockyard days will be coming up soon. Down here, let's see what the sign says. It's a fun place to go. Stockyard days, August 11th through the 13th. So they have games and some rides and stuff for little kids, and food and craft show. There's little concerts. There's an antique car show. There's Stockyard Days Parade, which I think is Saturday. It's a fun community event. I know that Bob and Pat mentioned they may go live on tomorrow night for National Night Out, but you know, it all kind of depends on what's going on. So if they do, it's like icing on the cake tomorrow. So we're in New Brighton, and we are gonna go west here on 10th, and I'll take you down by the Long Lake. There's Long Lake Beach, and then there's the dock and the fishing pier. And I'll show you the dock and the fishing pier, where you can get public access to the lake with your boat or jet ski, and there's spots for public fishing there. They do have some rules, no wake rules, and hours, so you want to check before you bring your boat or your jet ski over here. I don't know what those hours are, those rules, but I just don't want you to get over here and then find out you can't use your jet ski. Taking a ride on Beach Road, just ironically named. And we're gonna go down here. Looks like people are fishing along the shoreline. There's some great biking trails in here if you have a bike. Mountain bike's cool. You can also do it though with the nice faster road bikes. Because the trails are really smooth in here. They're well paved. So right here's the fishing pier. And you can see there's a couple people out there fishing right now. And then here's the public access dock. It looks like families going out to enjoy the lake on their boat. Hopefully that little girl in the stroller doesn't, come loose and roll down into the water.
Well, I see track up to that thing.
But it's a nice little area. It's fun to even just sit over here and watch people come with their kayaks and their paddle boards and whatever and go out on the lake. It's looking kind of quiet today, which is nice. And there are walleye in this lake. I don't believe it's been stocked for a while, but they do have walleye in here. I've fished this lake. It's a good lake for winter fishing, for ice fishing. All right, well, I'm going to end the Live on Patrol for today. I really appreciate you all hanging in there with me. Even though it was relatively, it was quiet today. Not much going on.
Loading route
I appreciate your sticking around.
Portly Place
And
in Woodbury.
we will see you maybe tomorrow night. Otherwise, maybe Wednesday or Friday. So,
621.
thanks. I hope you can get out and enjoy the weather.
$53.1.
5381.
Retitle seems to be like responsible.